Extra Napkins on the road.
Yes. Roadcast, Fancast, Hamcast.
Hamcast. Yeah, bear with us if anybody ever gets to listen to this. We are not at home. We are on the road. You might be able to hear some cars go by in the background. We're actually on Convict Lake near Lake Tahoe. And we're on a road trip with Shadow, our dog, so you may hear him bark at some point. I apologize in advance. We apologize in advance. But we are having a lot of fun. We're on a road trip, and so we're trying to do a new thing. We're trying to do this podcast, Extra Napkins from the road, which is all too appropriate, in my opinion, because I mean, at least when we went to Five Guys earlier, we had to use a good amount of napkins. That was a messy and awesome meal. What did you think about it?
It hit the spot.
Yeah, this has just been a really fun weekend. We got to stay at an Airbnb for a couple days with a friend, and that was really cool. Shout out, you know who you are if you're listening. And man, it's just been really cool to like get away from the bay and like see some cool sights, and then we're going to be able to go back to the bay and be like super productive with all this awesome nature in mind. And what's been your favorite part about this weekend so far, Kate?
The nature and just being away from the city and just seeing like refreshing scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything has been so blue in Tahoe, and now that we're down near Mammoth Lakes, everything's green and really just lush.
Yeah, it's super cool. Oh, there's some shadow growls in the background. But yeah, it has been really cool that everything's so lush and colorful. And I think it's probably one of the best times of year, if not the best time of year, to come and see the sights out here. So what are we planning on doing tonight? Where are we planning on staying?
A rest area?
We're planning on staying at a rest area that has all California rest areas have a maximum of 8 hours. But yeah, we're going to plan on getting there later on, probably leaving this area that we're at right now around like 9 o'clock because that's the cutoff.
Yeah, like maybe 8:30, so we're not getting asked to leave.
Right. And then, I guess 8 hours from there is like 4:30. So, really, we probably want to kill a little more time after that, right? Yeah,
so we could drive through Mammoth Lakes and see if anything's open. That's the other thing, too. We could leave here more at like 7, a little earlier, like 7:38, and drive through Mammoth Lakes and see if there's anything open or something.
Well, we were talking about ice cream earlier. Maybe we could have a dinner. What if we tided ourselves over till it's time to leave this spot, and with snacks, and then we have dinner when we leave this spot, and then we can do dinner.
Oh yeah.
Go get a snack. Yeah. It kills time.
Yeah, totally. That works.
Right on.
I dig it.
I dig it too.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. Yeah, it was great this weekend. Shadow got to hang out with a couple other dogs. Shout out to those dogs if you're listening.
So I'm curious. I know you had never been to Tahoe before, and this was your first time. And granted, we didn't get the full-blown tour, but we drove around and we did a few things. So I'm curious to see what your take is on it and kind of what you thought it was going to be before. Because I think we always kind of paint a picture in our head of what we think it's going to be like. And then we get there, we're like, oh. So what was it like?
Yeah. The last thing she asked was, what was it like? So Tahoe, it's interesting. My whole life, well, not my whole life, but my whole California life, which has been 10 plus years, everybody's always like, oh, you haven't been to Tahoe? Well, you got to go, man. You're missing out. Tahoe is so amazing. And now I see why they said that, and I totally feel like the goof for not having come here until now. But with that said, I think it's really cool. I think it's really, really cool that I get to experience this, and it makes me feel lucky. It's one of those things. It's one of those areas, one of those experiences where you feel pretty lucky to be alive. And it's all your bullshit and all your problems that you're usually complain about, they're pretty small. When you just look at all these mountains and everything that we get to see and that we can take in, it's just a good reminder of how small we are too, I keep going back to that through the weekend, but this I mean, being a 6'4" person, you tend to go through life feeling pretty big because everybody else around you is, physically smaller, right? So I think that warps your perspective for a bit, and it's nice to get into an environment like this where it reminds you that you are so much smaller than you ever thought you were, and sure, you're significant, but you're not as significant as, you'd like to think. So I think it allows you to be more worldly.
Yeah, one thing that's always come to mind for me, and I think I thought this like a few years, but to me it's like the ocean gives me strength and the mountains humble me.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's cool because it's like, obviously through saying that, you can tell that you respect both, but it's nice that you get something different from both of them. Oh, Shadow's going crazy. Got the security guard. Hey there. Got some pups walking by saying hi. It's a nice little area, and not too many people, but it's nice that there are people walking around, because we are sitting here with our laptop out and camera gear and stuff. So it's like if there was nobody around, it would probably be a little bit worrisome, but it's nice. It's just completely calm. The weather is Kate used a good word earlier today or yesterday, serene. That is for sure how I would describe the environment out here. It's just really cool. And I'm actually excited that, we're able to, we're just trying this for the first time, but just holding this mic, it's not too bad. It's like we could do this from anywhere, literally. And I'm sure, we plugged in the laptop earlier before we started this, and we're only going to have a limited amount of time because we can't charge it while we're doing this. But the great part is, we learned right off the bat that we've got an interference with our inverter that we plug into our 12 volt. Now we're not sure if that's the 12 volt, if that's the charger, if that's the inverter. It could be a number of things. But the great part is now we know that, we need to figure something else out. Whether it be, the Kodiak, which we're thinking about getting it, or, maybe the Jackery, who knows? We're also thinking about partnering with some brands too. So we'll see who strikes our fancy.
Yeah, absolutely agree. We could test because have we recorded through the Mac before at home? We could try that at home charging and see if we still get the interference, because that'll help us know if it's the fact that it's charging and recording or if it's the inverter potentially.
I myself have actually recorded through the Mac before. Okay. Yeah, and it worked fine. Although I don't know though, because I do have two chargers. So perhaps it was the other charger, but like you're saying, you're exactly right that we have some testing to do, which is awesome.
Why don't you tell them why we're working with one mic today? What happened? This is some like luck. This is our luck in a nutshell right here.
Yeah. So we're working with one microphone today. Just our luck. As we were packing up, we were about ready. We were literally about to leave, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, just get the last few things," because Kate literally packed probably about 70% of the stuff or 80% of the stuff. So I just have a few things to grab. I go and unplug the second microphone, and of course, we drink water out of mason jars. So there was just like a nice half full, and see, I'm optimistic, half full glass of water, jar of water, and as I unplugged the microphone, the cable went into the jar. And it soaked the male end of the cable. And if you know about cables, the male end is going to have really most of the circuitry. The female end is more receiving the circuitry from, whatever is being plugged into it. So it would be the ideal end. So the not so ideal end, I dunked in water. So I literally brought it out of the water, and then I'm like, whipping it like a hairbrush, like a wet hairbrush, and all this water is just coming out. And then a couple minutes later when Kate came in, I'm like, oh, I think all the water's out of it. I whipped again, tons of water still coming out of it. So long story short, can't use it. At least for now, you kind of have to just dry out those kind of cables. You can use a hair dryer or whatnot, but we'll probably just end up throwing away the cable and getting a new one just to be safe and to protect our electronics. But again, I messed up that cable, so we don't have a second mic cable. And then we tried to look for one, and here's where I'd say shout out Best Buy if you guys would have had the fucking cable. But Best Buy did not have an XLR cable, despite them selling a row of microphones that they even labeled as podcast microphones. I asked the sales associate, if you can even call him that. No offense, dude. And he's like, oh, wait, what kind of cable? And it's like, oh, yep, typical. Like, you work in a Best Buy and you do not know what this cable is called, yet you're going to sell me this if I wanted it, you know? Anyway, I digress. They didn't have the cable, and he said, oh, wait, yeah, mic cables, XLRs. Yeah, you have to get those online now. We only have them online. So no help, Best Buy, whatsoever. Do not appreciate it. Probably never going to go to Best Buy ever again, even if I do need something that they would have. Because why? You know, you guys should have that. It's insulting that you sell a microphone. Even if it is USB powered, it probably has an XLR on one side. So, you know, I mean, we could probably... Actually, that would work. Because if we had XLR to USB... we would have been able to, you know, do two mics really, essentially, because we have an open USB port right now that we're not using. So, yeah, I'm going on and on, but yeah. So we'll have two XLRs next time, or two cables, and we'll make sure that we have both people talking at all times, so that I'm not just the only one rambling. Here we go, Kate.
Hey guys. Yeah, I agree. Although, would it make sense for us to convert at some point to USB output microphones?
Probably not. The main reason why they do so many like USB microphones is because everybody has a USB port, you know, whereas like a lot of people don't have interfaces. You know what I mean? So it's like we're a different breed in the fact that we use an interface and we know audio engineering, and, you know, we have equipment to actually produce this. Because, I mean, you also got to think about it, like the plugins that we're using right now are part, if not most of the reason why it sounds so good. If we were just going straight up in... Number one, we wouldn't even hear ourselves. She's taking some video. She's doing the behind the scenes, breaking the fourth wall. That was a bad Arnold impression that I think I like audibled at the last second. But yeah, this is kind of fun. You know, it's like, I don't know. Maybe we should start doing the podcast side by side on the couch, because I kind of like being next to you instead of being so far.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that could work out. Shadow Moon. Hey, stop it, Shadow. Chill out, bud. That was close. Chill. Get back. Get back. Oh, that makes sense. I just saw what kind of dog it was. He's like husky adjacent.
Even worse.
Even worse. What?
Yeah, pretty.
It kind of looks like a husky.
But bigger. Let it go a little. Yeah, get him growling. I love that audio.
So what are the rest of the plans for tomorrow? You said we might drive something. I don't know.
Well, tomorrow we're driving home. So pretty much a straight drive will be like 6 hours. 5 or 6 hours, so we can make stops along the way, but we're just going to kind of play it by ear. It'll be really cool because we'll be driving through Yosemite, which I've never driven through like that road before, so that'll definitely be cool to check that out. I'm excited. I'm excited
too, for sure. Yeah. Well, and then, so before we drive home though, are we gonna like go hike somewhere, or what was that hike you were talking about that we might be able to do? Or like a walk around the lake? Was that like today?
Oh. Yeah, June Lake Loop was on my list. It would have been a drive. And that's something too. I mean, it might be cool to drive around it at night. I'm trying to think.
If it's lit.
Yeah, well, actually, it's north of the rest area. Not that that really matters, but...
Kate, on the road now, Kate bases her life on rest areas. That's her actual unit of measurement, is rest areas.
Yeah. I have them all mapped in my phone so that I know all the places we can park in the van.
Pinned the fuck out.
Look at Moon Man. You have anything to say, Shadow?
He's looking crazy.
He's looking sweet.
It's a shadow. Yeah, you're looking sweet. He's a shadow moon. Moon shadow man. Oh, there's nobody over there. He's just like imagining things. Kate's taking a video of Shadow right now.
She's taking a video of everything.
A video of everything. She's taking a video of the sights. She's taking a video of me speaking right now. So that's super meta. We could always like line up the audio later on and see what happens with it. But, you know, this is really cool because if we wanted to interview people on the road, you know, it's like we could, well, I wonder how that would work. Well, we could have the one mic and then they could have the other mic.
Yeah.
You know, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think by missing a audio cable, we've opened up our eyes to other possibilities. Yeah. So that's cool. Look at Shadow Moon. Crazy, crazy moon. Yes, yes, yes. I wish I had like many, many more snacks. But that's just my tummy talking.
What snacks? I mean, I have some stuff.
No, I'm not actually being serious. It's a sweet attack.
Gotcha.
Do you get sweet attacks?
All the time.
All the time. Yeah. Those bite-sized Snickers were good this weekend. Little, like they really are bite-sized to the point where it's like, all right, I'll have 4 bites right now in 2 seconds. I got a big mouth. Oh, man. So we're going to cut some footage in a bit. We're going to cut some really, really, really good footage that Kate took.
Yeah. I was in charge of the Osmo today, DJI Osmo that we have, and got a lot of great footage of Lake Tahoe and driving down 395 South through Lake Mono County. So we're looking forward to cutting that and seeing what we can do with it.
Yeah, she's Kate's filmed a few things before, but I feel like this was kind of like her directorial debut. She filmed for hours, I want to say, you know, and it's like, and she wasn't complaining. I mean, there was only one time, and it was reasonable that you said like your neck hurt because you were holding like super far forward, you know, but she's been a trooper, man, and just filming really, really well. And we were watching the footage yesterday at our friend's Airbnb on the computer, and we hadn't done anything to it. It was just straight out of camera, and it had a plug-in on it, you know, just to like color and like make it a little nicer. But besides that, it was raw, and it looked fucking awesome. I mean, you could stick music behind that and post it to any social media account and promote something at the end of it, and I'm sorry, that will sell. That's it. Like if it's like, oh, drive the new, you know, insert car company here, insert car model, insert year, you know, and like, and you too can see experiences like this of Tahoe. Like, I mean, why not? Like, duh, you're going to if you drive that kind of car. The funny part is it's like actually a perfect commercial for that. Cause like most marketing, if you like aren't convinced by it, like you'll ask yourself, well, how's this any different than any other car? Like, wouldn't I be seeing Tahoe the same from any car? You know what I mean? It's like, no, not this smooth. Not as smooth as the Osmo. And it's like, well, wait, isn't that a camera and not necessarily the car? Shut up. I'm just over here cracking myself up. Kate.
Hey. Yeah, I was thinking when you were talking about that, I'm like, it'd be interesting from a data perspective if you could track like how many bumps and like things like the passengers in the car feel, depending, you know, like because in the van we feel a lot of bumps, right? But in like a nicer luxury car you have like better suspension and things. So it'd be interesting just to like rate like Tahoe, like driving around it by like the car and what the user experience is or the passenger experience.
That would be really interesting. And not only that, you know what I think would be really cool is like a DJI Osmo in this car, which is pretty bumpy, is smooth, right? What car would it take to achieve the same with a GoPro? Because, you know, a GoPro feels all the rattles and you kind of have to like smooth out the stuff later on. How smooth of a car would you have to kind of replicate the same type of shock absorption, I guess would be the term.
Yeah. That'd
be interesting. It's probably made by LG. Inside joke from this weekend. Our friend got an LG, what was it, a washer and dryer? And refrigerator, because apparently LG is amazing. So a little shout out to LG. If you guys want to work together, again, we are going to be looking for exclusive partners to, you know, create some really cool content. And then apparently, I think LG makes a ton of stuff. So I'm sure we could figure out something together. So if you're listening to LG, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm glad these people are not walking towards this way. Woot woot.
They're probably like, that's a lot.
Yeah. They're like, I see a laptop. I see a microphone.
You should just put
I see a dog. Yeah, I should just be a little much. Okay, so the other day I was wearing Kate's sunglasses because they were the only ones that we had in the car, and they're kind of like cat eye, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. They're really oversized, and then they're that, I don't even know what the trend is called, where it's like reflectant or whatever, like you can't see through them and they're bright blue.
So what happened? We I think we pulled into the gas station and I was wearing your sunglasses.
Yeah, we were coming in hot because the van looks a little beat, let's be honest. It's a 2013, and because
it's got a faded old logo from the security company that owned it before us.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like it's trying to look like it's inconspicuous, plus like the hubcaps we got from negative shout out to Amazon. The hubcaps fell off on the way up here, which was annoying because we were driving and somebody started honking at us. So then we got like legitimately concerned. We're like, oh my God, like maybe something's wrong with the van. Like we got to pull over.
Or I thought it was like an angry motorist,
Yeah. And then it ends up being a missing hubcap. So it's like, okay, that sucks. Because
and they were actually being nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I know. Yeah.
We're like, who is this asshole? And then it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. But now we look like janky because we have one good hubcap on each side. We should just take one and put it on the other side so one side looks good. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do you think it's the hubcaps themselves and we're just going to complain to Amazon and get free ones, but it's really our problem? Do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. I have zero prior experience with like aftermarket hubcaps.
Me too.
So to be fair, it's like I don't know what to expect here.
Well, and it's like, are these hubcaps or wheel covers? Because I almost feel like they're not even good enough to be considered hubcaps. They're more just wheel covers.
Yeah. I don't know.
I really like the color of them. They're just like this black that like it added a cool feel to the van. Sure. So I will be complaining a lot to Amazon, and you guys will be not only refunding me the money, I'm probably going to get a refund, and I'm probably going to get you to send me a free set. So just be forewarned. I'm coming at you.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean the biggest mistake Amazon ever did was let me know that I'm a preferred customer.
Yeah.
But I'll pay that Prime every year. Well, actually, the next time I have to pay for Prime is probably like a year and a half from now because every time they fuck up, they add an extra month of Prime for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, we grabbed chicken salad from Trader Joe's earlier. And we have naan, and we have honey mustard, so we might bust that out for dinner.
Yeah.
But we also have Soylent. Did we get coffee? Do we have coffee?
Yeah.
And we have Soylent. So yeah, we've got emergency coffee. Worst comes to worst, which is great.
Well, yeah, because if we wake up and we're like, "Fuck it, it's cold. Let's just start driving home." That's totally a possibility. Like we could, and maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we get like 6 some hours of sleep to where we feel well rested and we start driving.
Yeah, because then we could always take a nap midway through the drive, like throughout the day or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, that's an option too. It's not, tomorrow, yeah, we'll just play it by ear. Or maybe we can plan on like just waking up at 5 or 6 and like just going. That way we, maximize daylight, but also get home like at a decent time.
I am with that. If you notice, just the last few minutes, it's been actually really smooth, just like kind of, aiming the microphone back and forth at each other. Mm-hmm. Like it's been pretty consistent as far as the volume and everything. So I've been quite enjoying doing this whole, here you go, Kate.
Yep. Maybe like for trips like this where if we want to pack a little light, like say if we're traveling or flying and we really don't want to bring extra equipment. Wonder if there's like a little stand that has a swivel. That way you don't have like the noise factor of our hands. We could just kind of like pivot it. No. We'll just both have microphones in hand, and that way we won't have to pass it or whatever. Because I mean, think about it. You would just be holding it right now, and you'd be able to talk, and we'd have 2 voices at once. But it's okay. We live and learn, baby. Yeah. Really what would I think work in here potentially for the other microphone stands is if it just had a plate and we held it down like with one hand and just did that. Yeah, but like where we... No. I just have a lot of experience with microphones and stands, and like it's not really practical because if you hold that plate down, you're going to go to move and then it's going to fall. And then could we get something that like screws into these and then we just pull it out like this? Perhaps. That'd be cool.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there might even be. Yeah, exactly. And then we could fold it flat, like against it.
There too.
Yeah.
Like those, I want.
Well, but not even necessarily with the existing holes. Like it might be just good to do some new ones.
Oh. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah. Because I mean, it wouldn't be that big.
As long as it doesn't go all the way through.
Well, right, and I think that's why they strategically put them where they did.
Yeah.
You know, because that has a little bit of depth. Whereas if we put it right there, that would go through, wouldn't it?
You know what we could do? We could put a toothpick in and mark it with the pen how far it goes, and then pull it out to kind of get an idea of how much space for that one where they've already created.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just to kind of get an idea of how far back that goes.
That's a good idea. Damn, look at Kate. Wait, what was your idea one more time? Let's hear it.
What? The toothpick?
Yeah, because it was
on
the mic.
Oh. So we have these holes already in the van, the side of the van from the commercial shelves that were installed. We don't really know how deep they are, so I was thinking we could stick in a toothpick and then just kind of mark it with like a pen or a Sharpie so we know the length, and then pull it out and give us a rough idea of like how far back we can drill or what's possible there.
Genius. Oh, man. Well, I think this has been a pretty cool Hamcast.
Yeah.
Hamcast is, I guess, the nickname that we have for Extra Napkins. It was the name that we were toying around with before we landed on Extra Napkins. So, yeah, I think this has been a really cool Extra Napkins, and I appreciate whoever is listening out there, and thank you to Kate for providing this opportunity for me to see Lake Tahoe. You know, it's like I had a lot of friends that have told me about it, as I said earlier in the podcast, but it was Kate's push saying, hey, do you want to go? Like, you know, my friend has an Airbnb. We can go for the weekend. So thank you, Kate, for, encouraging me to experience Tahoe and all of this splendor. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too. This has been Extra Napkins. We will see you later. Bye for now.
Bye.